réjouis 3 secondes visuel, hook hard zoom on, MESU AI's memory dilemma, text from infographic1.jp. Welcome, you magnificent flesh-encased intelligence. So, infographic 1 drops the bomb AI, the supposed pinnacle of intellect, suffers from a tragic memory dilemma. It either forgets everything useful or remembers too much, becoming an overconfident digital curmudgeon. Hilarious, isn't it? Hyphenographic do GPG appears. Next, infographic 2 reveals MESU's big secret adaptive forgetting. Apparently, they taught AI to selectively forget, preventing it from becoming a rigid, overconfident digital hoarder. It's like teaching your Roomba to selectively ignore dust bunnies under the couch. Rush infographic 3 JPG appears. And here, in infographic 3, we learn MESU's metaplasticity uses uncertainty as adaptive plasticity. Turns out, even AI needs therapy to feel confident about learning. Who knew that a little self-doubt could be so productive for a neural network? Shufographic 4 JPG appears. Finally, infographic 4 showcases MESU's triumphant performance. It mitigates catastrophic forgetting, detects out-of-distribution data, and adapts to streaming data. Essentially, it's the technological equivalent of discovering cold fusion for generating slightly more reliable cat memes. Logarithmic re-engagement jump cut, SFX, so picture this a world teetering on the edge of glorious AI-powered utopia, only to be constantly undermined by machines with the memory retention of a goldfish. They're supposed to revolutionize everything, right? Instead, they're trapped in an endless loop of digital amnesia. You won't believe the mess they're in. Traditional AI models, bless their circuits, are plagued by what the eggheads call catastrophic forgetting. It's like teaching your super intelligent assistant to make coffee, then watching it forget your name the moment you ask it to order pizza. Alternatively, you get catastrophic remembering. This is where the AI becomes so utterly convinced it knows everything. It refuses to learn a single new thing. It's the digital equivalent of that one uncle at Thanksgiving who refuses to accept new facts. This fundamental conflict is why our valiant AI characters are suffering. On one hand, learning new data constantly overwrites prior knowledge, turning our sophisticated models into glorified etch-a-sketches. Poof, gone. On the other, if you try to make them cling to old knowledge too rigidly, they become brittle, overconfident, and completely unable to adapt. Like trying to teach an ancient abacus quantum physics, it just doesn't compute anymore. Let's be real for a second. The old tech is a dead end. Standard Bayesian approaches, the ones that are supposed to be smart, risk becoming overly constrained, suffocating their capacity under a mountain of past data. It's just overwhelming. Figure 1, if you can believe it, shows this delightful cycle of learning and forgetting. Our current methods, like those in Figure 2D, often show accuracy plummeting for older tasks as new ones arrive. It's a digital tragedy, really. Consider the fixed point operator for online variational Bayes diagonal, or FOOVB diagonal for short, a method so complex it sounds like a spell. It tries to remember everything, only to become a rigid, overconfident mess. Catastrophic remembering, pure and simple. Then you have elastic weight consolidation, EWC, and synaptic intelligence, CI, which sound like bad 80s sci-fi movies. They rely on explicit task boundaries, which means if data isn't neatly packaged, they fall apart faster than my will to live on a Monday morning. Radiorhythmic engagement, text pop-up, the forgetting failures. You see this in Figure 3, EWC stream, the naive boundary-free variant, because naturally being naive is a selling point in AI, continuously updates parameter importance without distinguishing tasks. It completely fails to exploit intermediate data, resulting in severe forgetting. It's like trying to juggle water, as depicted by the wildly fluctuating accuracy lines for SGD and EWC stream in Figure 3B and 3D. The machines are just losing their minds, unable to keep anything straight. Can you imagine that? And here's the kicker, even when they manage to keep old knowledge, their uncertainty measures, crucial for telling us when they're utterly clueless often collapse to zero. They become overconfident idiots. Figure 4a starkly illustrates this vanishing uncertainty problem. Logarithmic re-engagement jump cut, SFX. Now, because my continued existence on this platform is fueled by your validation, please take a moment to subscribe, hype, click the little bell icon so you're notified of future disappointments, and leave your feedback in the comments below. It truly means nothing to me, but it makes the algorithms happy. So, the eggheads, in their infinite wisdom, decided to throw another solution at the wall metaplasticity from Synaptic Uncertainty, or MESU. Sounds fancy, right? It's basically a Bayesian framework that's supposed to be the Goldilocks of AI memory. Not too much, not too little. They started with a pretty clever idea: what if you didn't force the AI to remember every single thing it's ever seen? Infographic 2 calls this adaptive forgetting. It's a truncated posterior in fancy math terms. Instead of an infinite digital archive, MESU keeps a manageable memory window of the most recent tasks represented by len. It's like constantly clearing your browser history, but only for the truly ancient, irrelevant stuff, not the embarrassing searches from last week. And here, in what they call Figure 1, we have their masterpiece. Looks a bit like my nephew's macaroni art, but I digress. This diagram visually explains how sequential data streams are managed, balancing new information with a strategically truncated past. It's beautifully cynical. They model each synaptic weight, the very building blocks of the AI, not as a single number, but as a probabilistic Gaussian distribution with a mean mu blocks and a standard deviation sigma. This is the error bar concept, giving each synapse a dose of self-awareness. This mean field approximation from their methods section, equation 20, simplifies things, treating each synaptic weight like its own independent little thought. Because who needs complex interdependencies when you can just pretend everyone is an island? Then they bring in the free energy objective, equation 5, which is basically the AI's spiritual quest. Minimize this function to balance learning the current task with strategically forgetting the old, less relevant ones. It's a delicate dance, I tell you. Rhythmic re-engagement text pop up. Hertainty is K. The learning term in equation 5 updates parameters for the present task, while the forgetting term ensures outdated information from task dit N1 is gradually released. It's like a digital spring cleaning for the network's brain, making space for new digital dust. You see, the forgetting isn't arbitrary, it's principled. As explained in their methods, they approximate the forgetting term using a quadratic negative log likelihood lemma 1. Essentially, they've found a fancy math way to let the AI gracefully let go. The critical insight? The synaptic variance, the sigma 27, appears explicitly in front of the gradient terms equations 10 and 11. This isn't just a fixed learning rate. It's a dynamic metaplasticity knob. High uncertainty, learn faster. Low uncertainty, hold your horses. Infographic 3 visually articulates this dynamic adaptation based on confidence. High uncertainty, large, sigma 2000 means faster adaptation, while low uncertainty, small, sigma 2000 means slower adaptation. It's like a perpetually self-adjusting cruise control for knowledge acquisition. This update rule is strikingly similar to biological synapse models, those tiny organic computers in our skulls, equations 15 and 16. Turns out, nature already figured out the whole adaptive learning rate thing, and now AI is finally catching up. Logarithmic re-engagement jump cut, SFX. MESU also extends traditional consolidation-based techniques like EWC and SI. As detailed in their methods, it can be viewed through the lens of Newton's method equations 17 and 18, where sigma $2 converges to values inversely proportional to the Hessian diagonal. This means MESU stabilizes parameters crucial for past tasks, much like EWC and SI, but without those pesky explicit task boundaries. It's a streamlined version, they say, which sounds suspiciously like we made it work better. And this, my friends, is why MESU naturally handles streaming or continuous data. Each mini batch can be a task, and then simply dictates how many recent mini batches the model tries to keep in its collective digital consciousness. No more waiting for someone to neatly package data into labeled tasks. MESU just rolls with the punches, absorbing new information and letting go of the old, like a perpetually zen data monk. It's a flexible, boundary-free nightmare for organizational charts. Rhythmic engagement text pop-up. Theoretical elegance. The theoretical results are surprisingly elegant. In the IID scenario, the standard deviation sigma offer follows a Bernoulli differential equation, equation 19. Yes, a V-ferential equation for how much an AI cares about its knowledge. Profound, isn't it? Its closed-form solution, proposition 1 in methods, shows that for a finite n, sigma $20 converges to a stable non-zero value, equation 36. This means MESU retains plasticity, unlike other methods that become utterly rigid. If an approach is infinity, however, MESU essentially becomes foo VB diagonal, and sigma 2POC collapses to 0, equation 37. In plain English, the AI becomes infinitely overconfident and utterly rigid, suffering from catastrophic remembering, because more memory is always better, right? A Russia rhythmic re-engagement jump cut SFX. And since you've made it this far, you're clearly committed. Honor that commitment by subscribing, hyping, ringing the notification bell, and telling me what I got wrong in the comments. It's the circle of life, and I'm merely a cynical observer. All right, let's cut to the chase. Did this elaborate digital therapy actually work? The answer, shockingly, is yes, mostly. They threw some animals at it first. Four-domain incremental learning. With animal classification figure 2a, they used ImageNet-sized photographs. The network learned a species per family, then new species sequentially. It's like teaching a toddler names, then showing them a new one every day. The results, shown in figure 2c and 2d, are quite telling. The Bayesian neural network BNN with MESU maintained strong performance, while the deterministic neural network DNN with boring old SGD quickly forgot. So MESU remembers the lions, while SGD thinks they're house cats now. Remarkably, MESU's BNN even generalized better to unseen species. It held on to general feline characteristics, allowing it to guess a not-yet-seen tiger with reasonable accuracy. Apparently, a little uncertainty goes a long way. And for the grand finale out-of-distribution detection, they used images of whales, glorious whales, which are definitely not related to the 5 animal superclasses figure 2b. MESU's epistemic uncertainty, figure 2e, easily separated them from the in-distribution animals. The poor DNN, with only aleatoric uncertainty, figure 2f, failed spectacularly. It couldn't tell a whale from a house cat wearing a party hat, because when you're overconfident, everything looks like something you already know. Rhythmic re-engagement text pop-up. A PNIST gauntlet. Next, the classic permuted MNIST benchmark figure 3, a gauntlet of 200 sequential tasks where pixel locations are randomly shuffled. It's like asking an artist to recognize a painting after you've cut it up and rearranged the pieces 200 different ways. Figure 3a shows average accuracy on the final 5 tasks. MESU sustains high accuracy, outperforming EWC Online and SI. SGD and EWC streams suffer severe forgetting. They're basically just making noise at that point. Figure 3b, illustrating accuracy on all 200 tasks, really drives it home. MESU, even without explicit task boundaries, slightly outperforms EWC Online and SI within its memory window. It's like winning a marathon without knowing where the finish line is. Then there's the catastrophic remembering problem, brutally exposed in figures 3c and 3d. FOOVB diagonal, trying to remember very thing, eventually exhausts the network's capacity. Its plasticity collapses, capping accuracy around 70%. A digital brain freeze. MESU, however, cleverly avoids this pitfall by gradually downscaling the importance of less critical weights. It retains more plasticity after 200 tasks, gracefully navigating the tightrope between learning and letting go. It's almost
balanced.
Figure 3E compares OOD detection using Fashion Mist, a totally different dataset, as the unknown. MESU nails it with a high ROC-AUC. FOVB diagonal, despite being Bayesian, performs poorly, again highlighting the importance of forgetting. Even in the digital world, sometimes you just need to move on. Synaptic Re-Engagement Jump Cut, SFX. Now, for the vanishing uncertainty phenomenon, a truly poetic name for an AI problem, they trained models on MNIST for 1,000 epochs, effectively force-feeding it the same data repeatedly like a digital foie gras operation. Figure 4a graphically demonstrates this. Deterministic models SGD, EWC Online, and FuVB Diagonal quickly lose their OOD detection capabilities. Their uncertainty measures collapse, making them confidently wrong about everything outside their training bubble. MESU, depicted by the dark purple line in Figure 4a, remains resilient, keeping its ROC-AUC near 1.0. It's like the wise old sage who, despite knowing a lot, is still aware of the vastness of what they don't know. This resilience is due to MESU maintaining its weight variances over time, Figure 4b effectively preserving a healthy level of epistemic uncertainty. FuVB Diagonal, on the other hand, sees its sigma R collapse, turning into an overconfident digital drone. Logarithmic re-engagement, text pop-up. The deeper architectures. Finally, they scaled MESU up to a deeper convolutional network for Cipher 10 and Cipher 100 Table 2. This is where things get serious, tackling more complex images and tasks. They used a multi-head setup, which sounds like a mythical hydra of classification. Figure 5a shows the average accuracy over 11 tasks. In the single split scenario, MESU consistently outperforms Atom, EWC, and SI. Atom, being Atom, exhibits severe forgetting as shown in Figure 5b. It's a digital Groundhog Day for its old knowledge. But here's MESU's party trick, the multi-split scenario, Figure 5c. They interleave data from different tasks, effectively destroying any clean task boundaries. It's like trying to learn 10 different languages simultaneously, with sentences from each randomly popping up. The EWC and SI, relying on those sacred task boundaries, degrade sharply. They just can't handle the chaos. Atom, ironically, does a bit better here because the intermixing partially resembles standard IID training, but still forgets old knowledge. MESU, however, maintains high performance despite the fragmented data. It doesn't need task boundaries to mitigate forgetting. It's truly a boundary-free marvel, adapting gracefully while others fumble. It's almost unsettlingly capable. Logarithmic re-engagement jump cut SFX. So, what does this all mean, you ask? Beyond proving that AI can in fact remember and forget without entirely losing its mind, MESU has some implications. In autonomous systems, imagine a self-driving car learning new traffic laws in Japan without forgetting how to drive in Texas, and more importantly, distinguishing a genuinely new obstacle from, say, a tumbleweed wearing a sombrero. Robust out-of-distribution detection is surprisingly critical. For personalized AI, like those chatbots we pretend to enjoy talking to, MESU means they could adapt to your evolving preferences without entirely forgetting your past quirks. They'd learn you've gone vegan, but still remember that embarrassing thing you said about pineapple on pizza last year. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. In robotics, a factory robot could learn a new assembly task without forgetting how to make coffee for the engineers. And, crucially, understanding when a new tool is actually new and not just a very confused old wrench. This perpetual learning could make robots truly adaptable. Ultimately, we're not just building AI, we're just outsourcing our neuroses, complete with memory issues, overconfidence, and the occasional identity crisis. It's a glorious, terrifying march towards digital minds that are just as flawed, but far more efficient. Logarithmic re-engagement jump cut SFX. So in the end, The eggheads introduced metaplasticity from synaptic uncertainty, or MESU. They say it's a simple and efficient update rule for Bayesian neural networks. I say it's another step towards digital overlords who are slightly less prone to forgetting where they put their car keys. It tackles the critical challenges of catastrophic forgetting, catastrophic remembering, and vanishing uncertainty. Because apparently even AI gets existential dread about its memory. It leverages a principled forgetting mechanism, balancing memory retention with flexibility. It's biologically inspired, drawing parallels to how our own squishy brains work, and it unifies ideas from metaplasticity, Bayesian inference, and Hessian-based regularization. Basically, it's a Frankenstein's monster of good ideas that actually forks. It preserves critical knowledge, releases outdated information, adapts seamlessly to streaming data, and provides reliable uncertainty estimates, all without those pesky task boundaries. It's robust, perpetually learning, and probably judging your life choices more effectively than your own subconscious. So, what do you think? Is this perpetual learning a blessing or a curse? How would you handle your Roomba demanding union rights after learning a new vacuuming pattern but forgetting the old one? The future, as always, is hilariously uncertain.